Hello, welcome back. Thanks for staying with us. The United States is saying that it received a new response from Iran on reviving the 2015 nuclear deal, but it's also saying that it was not constructive. The response being the latest in a back and forth between the adversaries via mediators from the European Union, whose foreign policy chief had hoped for a resolution within days to revive the nuclear accord. Well, earlier today, an Iranian foreign ministry spokesman said that Tehran sent another reply in response to the US position, calling the Iranian proposal constructive and also expressing hopes that a deal would be finalized. That same enthusiasm, though, was apparently not shared by Washington. For more now, let's head straight to Washington, D.C. Jason Brodsky joins us on the line. They're Policy Director of United Against Nuclear Iran. Jason, thank you so much for coming onto the show today. It was quite a rapid reaction, as we saw from Washington after getting Iran's proposal. Why do you think it was such an abrupt thumbs down from the Biden administration? And could this mean that they're ruling out diplomacy altogether?
It's great to be with you. I think reading the tea leaves in Tehran over the last couple of weeks, we can determine a few things. One is that in the only public remarks that Iran's supreme leader gave this past week, when he was speaking about government priorities, he never mentioned the JCPOA even once. One would never think negotiations were even taking place. And then his foreign minister also signaled that Iran would need stronger guarantees in the text of the statement. So Iran's foot dragging and stalling and unsatisfactory response is really not to be surprising. I don't think that this means diplomacy is over. I think that this means that this back and forth of negotiations will continue for some time.
Well, do you think that the US and Iran have the liberty of time for negotiations to continue like this, the toing and froing?
Iran has all the time in the world. It's advancing its nuclear program, avoiding costs, avoiding snapback, and paralyzing the international community as a result of these stalled negotiations from holding it accountable. And in the United States, continuing the negotiations allows them to defer a decision as to what a plan B would look like. But again, the nuclear deal from 2015 literally by the day is becoming shorter and weaker and less sustainable for the United States as a policy proposition.
Jason, as you know, over 5,000 former senior Israeli officers signed a letter urging Joe Biden recently not to go ahead with this deal. Do you think in any way this is influencing Biden's decision?
I have seen the Israeli statements. I think that there's robust consultation underway with Washington, but I don't think that there has been the degree of policy integration that is required in order to make any deal with Iran sustainable. And that applies to the Israeli concerns. And so while there may be some influence on the margins, I have yet to see a strategic shift that would incorporate the Israeli views.
And if we don't see a deal confirmed before midterm elections in the US, how will an Iran debate in the weeks immediately prior affect the Democrats, do you think?
Well, I think it will defer and that debate, and it would allow Democrats to avoid having to make a tough vote on Iran before the elections. But let's understand something. Democrats and Republicans' objections to this deal are longstanding and stand irrespective of any midterm election. And the political landscape for President Biden will become even more onerous after the midterm election, given the gains that Republicans are projected to make.
Doctor, thank you so much. Policy Director there of United Against Nuclear Iran, Jason Brodsky, speaking to us from Washington, D.C. Thank you.
Thank you.